Let's talk about count and non-count nouns. Nouns are a basic part of speech in a language, in any language. Nouns are people, places, things, ideas, or concepts. Nouns may function as the subject of a sentence, as the object of a verb, or as the object of a preposition. And don't worry if you don't understand all of that right now. Just think about it, use a dictionary to help you with any words you don't know, and in time, it will all become a little bit easier. So there are 4 types of nouns. Number 1 are common nouns. These are words for general people, places, or things. So some examples of common nouns are book, window, cafeteria, teller, teacher, streets, cars, remote control, police officer. These are all common nouns. The second type of noun are proper nouns. These are names of specific people, places, or things. When the is used with a proper noun, the is usually in the lower case. It's not capitalized. It doesn't have a capital letter. Okay? So proper nouns, what you really need to remember is that they are names of specific people, places, or things. So a name would be Veronica, or Paul, or Allison, or Carla, or Alauna, or Judith, which is my name. The names of countries like Chile, or Ecuador, or UAE, or Canada, or China. These are all names of countries. Or Seoul. This is the name of a city in Korea, as you probably know. Toronto, Vancouver, Beijing. These are all names of cities, specific places. Disneyland. The Bradens. This is the name of a family. So their last name would be Braden, and as a group, they are called the Bradens. The New York Times. This is the name of a big newspaper in New York. Boardwalk Empire. This is the name of a store, like Walmart or Home Depot. Jennifer Lopez. This is the name of an actress, just like Veronica, but Veronica is usually a first name. And here you see Jennifer Lopez, which is the first name and the last name. Or Professor Lenore Sinclair. Here we have the first name and the last name, and in front of it you have a title for their job. So professor is a teacher or someone who works at a university. You could have Mr. or Mrs. or Doctor. Any of those would work here. Okay. Number 3 are collective nouns. These are singular words that refer to groups of animals or people. They can be common or proper. So they can be 1 or 2. Okay. So for example, a collective noun would be team. If you play football, then many people also play football with you, then they are a team. The same thing if you play basketball or many, many other sports. Family, committee, Congress. You can have herd, which is the name for a group of cows. Or you could have the Rodriguez family. Rodriguez is the last name of this group of people. Or the New York Yankees, which is a proper noun for this sports team. And the 4th type of nouns are abstract nouns. These are words for ideas or concepts. These are things that we know exist, but we can't touch or hear or see or taste or smell them. These are words like love, hate, honesty, faith, freedom, patience, joy, responsibility, fidelity, dislike, loyalty. Now, I would say at this point, if you don't know what all of these words are, it's time to get your translator or your dictionary and start finding out. Okay. Now, we can also divide nouns into two other groups, which are called count nouns and non-count nouns. Count nouns, or countable nouns, are simple to count. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 1,000 of them. They may be singular or plural. For singular count nouns, use a, an, the, or one. For plural count nouns, use a number, the article the, or no article, if that's appropriate. You may also use quantity words, words like a lot, a few, some, many. Never use a or an with a plural count noun. It will not work. So some singular count nouns are things like a cat, an orange, one soldier, the recipe. Plural count nouns we show by making it plural. Cats, or 2 oranges, or 15 soldiers, or the recipes. But they're all things that we can count. Non-count nouns are a little bit different. Non-count or countable nouns are things that we generally do not count. Non-count nouns always take a singular verb. Do not use the articles a, an, or one with non-count nouns. You may use quantity words, a lot, a little, and especially you can use some. And you can use the article the if the non-count noun is specific or definite. Certain categories or groups of nouns are usually non-count. Let's look at some examples here. So we can have some abstract ideas and feelings like advice, information, beauty, intelligence, faith, joy, freedom, love, happiness, luck, hate, news, honesty, vocabulary, work. Okay. And remember that abstract things are things that we can't really see or taste or touch or hear, but we know what they are. We also use school subjects as non-count nouns: biology, physics, criminal justice, psychology, Spanish, economics, statistics, English, health, physical education, writing, mathematics. We also use non-count nouns for things that are composed or made of many tiny parts that would be really hard to count. Things like coffee, rice, flour, salt, sugar, pepper, tea, water, sand, rain, snow, hair. And then we can also use non-count nouns to talk about collective nouns referring to things. So clothing, those are all the clothes that you wear. Food, furniture, garbage, money, homework, music, jewelry, equipment, makeup, traffic, mail. Okay. Note that email is a count noun, while mail is a non-count noun. So it can be a little bit confusing. Some other types of non-count nouns are food items like bread, pasta, butter, soup, cheese, chocolate, fruit, fish, meat, and beef. Or minerals, copper, tin, gold, iron, silver, steel. And liquids and gases like air, pollution, fog, wind, beer, soup, milk, water, oil, and oxygen. To talk about quantities with non-count nouns, use a, an, the, plus a measure word, plus of, plus a non-count noun. This might seem complicated, but if you think it through, it won't be quite so hard. Look at some of these examples. So a measure word is a word like bag, bottle, bowl, box, bunch, can, container, cup, gallon. These are measure words. Okay? They're usually items or objects or things that we can put something else into. So for example, we can have a bag of flour because we don't want our flour all over the floor, or a bottle of juice, a bowl of fruit, a box of cereal. We could have a bunch of snow. A bunch in this case means a lot of. A can of corn, a container of rice, a cup of tea, or we could have 4 gallons of water. This is an amount of water. We could also have something like a glass of milk, a jar of honey, a loaf of bread, a piece of cake, or 2 pounds of coffee, a slice of pie, a tablespoon of vanilla, a teaspoon of salt. So there are lots of different ways that we can use measure words with our non-count nouns, and then we make them countable when we use a measure word with them. So that's it. That's a basic introduction to count and non-count nouns. When you finish watching this video and reviewing this information, you should go and do the exercises and see how you do. Take your time and refer back to this video or back to the PDF whenever you want.